Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Dear brothers, sisters, thank you for joining us again in this episode of Light of Reflection when we're recapping the activities that have been going on over the past 6 weeks. One of the activities I mentioned was about writing a book. So, in the past two discussions, we talked about why travel to Hijaz, especially during the days of Muharram, and the planning of Muharram. So, when I came back from Hijaz, I had the opportunity to go to a majlis organized by our very own Dr. Hatim. In that majlis, or after that majlis, there was this non-Shia Muslim who started asking questions to Dr. Hatim about Islam and about Shia Islam. And these questions were so intriguing and were so enlightening. And anyone who knows Dr. Hatim, he knows that Dr. Hatim has a unique blessing of Allah. The blessing which allows him to combine logic with knowledge in a way that he can convey the message that is easy to understand and easy to comprehend to anyone. And when I say anyone, I mean even a person who does not believe in the Ahl Bayt alayhi salam, even to a person who does not believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then the concept of logic and knowledge, when you combine these two, it results in a very powerful argument against those who do not understand the basic concepts of religion. So now, in case of this particular discussion, this person who was a non-Shia Muslim from Afghanistan, he was doing his PhD on religion and reforms in religion. So he was not a stupid person. And that particular person was talking about what was the role of the Prophet, how was the Prophet different, and then what was the message given by the Prophet? Why is there difference between the Muslims around the world? Why wasn't Imam Ali alayhi salam openly nominated as the successor of the Prophet? And why was Prophet considered an illiterate person? And so on and so forth, and so on and so forth. There were 14 different questions that were discussed during that 1 hour long dialogue. And within those 14 questions, there were many subtopics that were highlighted. And the sequence of the questions were such that they had profound impact on me as a person who is a Shia, who's a born Shia, but wanted to understand many of these concepts in a logical sense, because we have heard about these concepts in majalis, in different areas, but never have I heard about these in a logical sequence of discussion that would have resulted in a comprehensive understanding. So what I've done, Alhamdulillah, by the grace of Allah, by the grace of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, I've compiled these 14 questions and the answers in the form of the dialogue, how it unfolded between Dr. Hatim and that non-Shia Muslim brother. And this will become a book. It will be reviewed. It is being reviewed by Dr. Hatim, and it will then become a book that you can consult at any time to answer different questions that come up among the Muslims, among the Shias, or with non Shia Muslims. So that was the other thing that I was busy in doing, as it had so much rich information. I wanted to convey the knowledge after doing some more research and compiling more information from that. By the way, when I wrote down the first draft from the transcript, it was roughly 6,000, 7,000 words. By the time the full draft was ready, it is now 14,000 words. And I'm pretty sure that by the time Dr. Hatim is done with it, it will be 16,000 words. So, a good comprehensive book for people to understand. And inshallah, we will be doing podcast series on this. On the topics, so that you don't only have the book, you are also following along on the journey in the podcast, these 5-minute podcasts. And by the way, I'm also thinking about sharing these articles or different chapters on the questions via email. So we'll be sending out an email list or sending out a form to create an email list, and you can feel free to add your email address, and we will send out a chapter every week, so it's not very overwhelming and you can understand and relate to the podcast. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.